Homelessness 2.0 day 6. Coffee and a lemon pie. One of the best containers ever because it doesn't rip, it just opens. I got all my stuff ready for spaghetti sauce later. I'm not doing too well. Just kind of whatever. Not, I mean, I haven't been productive really at all. I mean, the most productive thing I did yesterday was make a salad. And, maybe I shouldn't beat myself up, but at the same time, it's like, I've got real shit I gotta handle, but I don't know. It's like, they say go with your gut. So far, my gut is telling me not to do anything. Because that's generally what my gut tells me to do, is to not do anything. You know? And, I didn't make any phone calls yesterday. I didn't go anywhere. Like I said, the only thing I did was make a salad and still some of the crap. I mean, I didn't even clean up after myself. For the most part. And then I set out the stuff for spaghetti sauce, and that's it. It's like, okay, whatever. And I know people, they'll be like, well, sometimes if all you did was the one thing or this or that, and I'm like, yeah, I get it. I get it. I do. But it doesn't get stuff done that needs to be done. Now, I don't know if what I think needs to be done or not. Maybe I've got my priorities all in the wrong direction. One of the reasons that I have this place for the month is because for literally the last 6 years, but for the most part, last 10 years, I haven't had a space to my own. I mean, I still don't, technically. It's not my place, but I mean, where you really live that's really yours unless you own a home. But like the last time that I had a place to my own was when I was living in Texas and I had, my own apartment and I was screwing that up. Now, granted, I'm a different person now than I was then. If you don't change, then what are you doing in your life? But, it's having, and I don't dislike everybody that I have spent time with for the most part. But having that sense of privacy, having that sense of sort of like self responsibility, it's like it's almost been a week, and in a lot of ways, I feel better. Now, I'm not living in my own apartment. I'm not. I mean, the vast majority of the stuff that I'm using, the bed, the chair, linens and stuff, they're not mine, so I don't know like the whole cleaning process, replacement because there's like more linens and pillows and stuff. But and I'm sure all I have to do is ask. But having this solitude intentionally, not really having to worry about so many things. Like the kitchen is mine to deal with, the bathroom is mine to deal with, the bedroom is mine to deal with. It's living alone on purpose, and it's something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and it's something I still want to do. Um, while I'm not necessarily the most productive every day, I don't know if I ever will be. It's it's been a necessity. Even if I'm still falling into a lot of the same bad habits. Because when it's just yourself, it's you dealing with it. It's not you dealing with other people and other people dealing with you. That's why I have on another channel, a video talking about being alone, the pros and cons, or living alone rather. And there's good and bad, but I mean, the good outweigh the bad, really. One thing I said is like, you got $100 bill sticking on your coffee table, you leave for the day, and then you come back, and it's still there. That's a good pro. I was thinking about, and this is somewhat relevant. Looking back, at my life, especially throughout my youth and in my 20s, I always thought I was ugly, that I was unattractive. Unattractive and ugly are kind of two different things. Um, but then I look at some of the events of my life, and they kind of say, maybe not so much. First girlfriend I ever had, I was in third grade, and she's the one that asked me out. And she was super pretty. Um, I still remember her name. I'm not going to say it. She was a deaf girl. Her, grammar wasn't great. I knew that at that time, but I didn't care because she was like the prettiest girl that I'd seen. And then, like, even though I had female friends in my youth, it's like I never had the tools to pursue further. And one might say, well, you didn't have to. Thing was, is I wanted to. I just didn't know how to. I mean, towards the end of my time as security guard in Texas, one of the girls that worked at the office, like one of the most attractive women I've ever met in my life, you know, she was regularly in communication with me. And for whatever reason, you know, I just never had it in me to be able to say, I guess, what needs to be said in a situation like that. I've been aware of women who are attracted to me. It has not been a mystery to me. I make it seem like it sometimes, maybe, but probably because I'm more of an idiot in so many ways. And even in recent years, I had a text conversation with somebody and I fucked that one up too. I'm not going to go into any details, but let's just say that I royally screwed it up. And I have royally screwed up a lot of things. I mean, there was one day where one woman at, again, the same building when I was working as a security guard, it was her last day there, and she called me adorable, and I was like, this is one of the prettiest women I've ever met. A different, very attractive woman. And I said nothing because I didn't know how. I didn't know what to say. And it's like, I feel like that all the time. I feel like I'm supposed to be equipped to be able to do this thing called life. But I'm not. I'm not properly equipped. So when opportunity shows itself in some way, I'm using those, situations with women as sort of a broader, to analogize this sort of broader issue. I'm not equipped to handle it. And so there are a lot of missed opportunities because I don't know how to follow up. I mean, yeah, of course, there's some things where you just simply make phone calls. But when you have anxiety about stupid crap like that, when it's paralyzing to the point that, like, it makes no sense to be paralyzed with anxiety about calling a service that you're going to pay for, that's going to do something. But for me, it's like, it's not just the phone call, it's everything else that's going to come with it. It's the responsibilities, it's the timing, it's the this and it's the that. And it's like, I would rather procrastinate and not get it done at all in a lot of cases than to literally put myself into those anxiety inducing situations. Because the phone call isn't just the only anxiety, it's effectively getting back on the bicycle, but in this case, it's the car. And then it's like, well, when's the driver's license going to come? And of course, obviously, I'm fully aware of the fact that by me kicking the can down the road, the driver's license is going to take longer to get to me. I know this. I'm fully aware of it. I know how irrational it is. It's stupid. But it doesn't matter because that's not what anxiety is. It's not logical. And being aware of it makes it suck more. Because it's like, why am I doing this to myself? And, it's like, why did I think I was ugly? Because that's what I was, in some way or another, influenced to think. I would call myself ugly at one point. My mother would get pissed off at me. And then she would make it about herself, because I look kind of like her. And so instead of trying to comfort me, it just made me feel worse, which doesn't help. And so when you have these, when you have a lack of self esteem and you don't have somebody there to help build it for you, to help not only combat what you're saying, but to understand why you're saying it and then try to reframe your thinking, and instead makes it about them and doesn't, and only makes you feel worse about what you're thinking, it just reinforces this negative self-talk. And then, all the other crap, negative self-talk that, I now repeat because of the crap that she said and so many others. When you don't grow up to value yourself, because the people who are supposed to teach you how to value yourself don't value you, and then of course then don't teach you how to value yourself, you end up like me. And then there are other people who, might believe in you in some way or another, but they can't hold your hand all the time, even if you need it. And then, of course, there's the other aspects to it when you have this negative self talk and this negative self thinking, and it comes out in X, Y, and Z ways, and then you're just the downer because all you're doing is talking shit about yourself around others. And so after a while, they give up on you. And that only reinforces the thought that maybe you should give up on you. And words on an internet screen don't do shit for me. Somebody can say, "Oh, hey, here's a hug," or "Hey, I'm thinking about you," or "Hey, how you doing," or whatever. These things do not help me. They don't. If anything, it makes it worse, actually. Like, when people try to say nice things to me on the internet, it makes me feel worse, because what it tells me is that I could get that, maybe, but this is all I get. It's like a teaser, but you're not gonna get it ever. You're not gonna get that thing that they are saying in reality. Um, it's like a picture of a, I don't know, really expensive meal, and someone flaunting it in your face saying, "Look what I've got! Look what I've got! Look what I've got!" That's what it feels like to me. Now I know that's not their intention, but that's what it feels like. I need actual hugs. I need action. I need people. But I'm also afraid of rejection to the point where I become paralyzed and often don't do anything. And I don't even know what I'm going to do today. I'm going to finish my coffee. Going to finish that lemon pie. I'll make spaghetti sauce. Marinara, technically, because I don't have any spaghetti. And then whatever. And then I'll have another recording tomorrow. Have fun.